Hit the timer. Move it over so I can see it.
Oh, you like that?
Were you twerking?
Nope.
A front
Kind
twerk.
of.
Maybe.
Fork.
What's up, everybody? Wild Times. Here we go, talking to the mic. I know what you're going to
No,
say.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Here we go. We're in the studio. What a treat, because if I wasn't, I'd be at Costco with my wife and 2 children. Sure, they're screaming. Already got a text about how my one son ran a shopping cart over somebody's foot.
Ah,
He's
perfect.
feral.
Yep.
He's a feral.
I was
Dude.
I was in a J.C. Penney's once when I was about 15.
Remember when those existed, kids?
Yeah, and this little kid, he's probably 5, was walking, holding his mom's hand, and he just wound up and punched me in the nuts as hard as he could. And the mom saw it and didn't say anything.
Yeah. He
He didn't
just
say like, "Hey, little Tim," you didn't give him a little.
What
fucking
did
You
tap
got to
on the
smack
butt.
your kid across the face for that. Stop it.
He punched a stranger in the nuts.
the fact that the mom didn't say anything is
That's what's wild.
bananas.
Yeah, 'cause
Crazy.
in my shoes, and I haven't done our intros yet, but I don't care. In my shoes, I can 1,000% see my son doing that, but he also knows I'd beat the crap out of him. Like I'd grab him and be like, "What's the matter with you?"
Yeah.
You know.
I remember when he slapped you at the zoo.
Oh,
What did I do?
Punched you because you took away his popcorn.
What did I do? I don't remember.
It was just like you were like
Stern.
You're gonna get the stern discipline now, boy.
Yeah.
Like you didn't slap him
No,
or
I don't do
spank him
that.
or anything,
Yeah.
but like you could tell like
He shook in his little boots.
Yeah.
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 Now, let me ask a
I mean,
question
he did
real quick.
punch you in the face.
Yeah, I mean, he's a lunatic.
Is
Yeah.
pinching abuse if you pinch?
Well, I told you my pinching story,
I
right?
don't think that's abuse. So.
To get out of the speeding ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
It's one of my proudest moments.
It's genius. So
Yeah, okay.
real-
By the way, that was on the way, I don't know if I ever told you this part of the story, to the Fat Tire House in Vail.
Oh,
That's
Ah,
where
that's
that
right.
happened. We landed in Denver, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, driving to Vail, and I did the little pinch my son to get out of the speeding ticket trick.
it's genius. It's genius.
We normally kick off with what's in the news, wildlife related,
Yeah.
outdoor adventure stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna hijack this for a minute.
Okay. Should I intro us, or should
No.
are we we're too
We're
deep?
way too deep.
Okay.
They know.
Kyle's like, don't do
If
it.
they don't like us, they've turned it off. by
Yeah,
now.
get out of here. In fact, turn it off right now. Stop
No,
listening.
don't
Please
do that.
Peter hates when I do that.
So it did come to my attention that there has been a rash, a wave in Washington State
Mm.
of Sasquatch sightings that have
Wow.
happened in the last couple weeks.
Oh, really? Recent.
A bunch of reports, hikers, a family where the kid said, "What's that?" And it appeared to be a large primate-like thing, 8 to 9 feet tall.
Okay.
So yeah, in the last couple weeks, there's been a big wave of Sasquatch sightings in Washington State forest.
Okay.
I wonder, is there any evidence? That's what I'm wondering. I wonder if there's some pictures, some videos.
I assume there's more to the story. Like
Well-
Pat's going to say, they figured out that.
No, it's
Oh.
just that there's been a bunch of reports, people reporting it to like the park rangers and things like that.
What's the probability that it is Sasquatch?
Well, okay.
sorry, I didn't
you
mean
finish,
to interrupt.
then
Go
I'll
ahead.
I guess
add,
what I
then
was
you
going to
go.
say is since we don't have evidence that a Sasquatch exists, I'm still holding out hope. I would love if before I die, it comes out and there's like, yep, holy shit.
Yeah.
That would be
All right,
cool.
Let me ask you this. What major movies are in the news right now?
Dune.
Dune. What else?
Beetlejuice.
Okay.
I just watched the new Wonka movie, but
Any
it was
good?
on streaming.
Nobody's heard of that.
I stopped watching it.
Godzilla versus Kong, the
Oh, yeah.
19th one.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Planet of the Apes, the newest one.
Is
Yeah.
that in the news?
Yep. They've just
Okay.
announced it. Okay.
Okay.
So take all that into account.
All the monkey stuff.
Now take into account the fact that it's what time of year? What are your kids on right now?
Spring break?
Springtime.
Spring break.
Yeah.
Spring Break.
Spring
You ever see that
Break.
movie?
Yeah,
James
it's
Franco
yeah,
movie?
it's great.
Yeah.
With the hair. And also, what is happening in Washington right now that hasn't been the case in 4 months?
Washington State.
Washington State.
It's nice out.
Right. People are going outside.
Interesting.
Put all those factors together, and you have a bunch of idiots reporting Bigfoot sightings. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, come on. It could
Yep.
be legit, dude. I truly believe that we have cryptids crawling all over this world of
so you're
ours.
saying no way that it could be somebody's pet chimp that got released?
I mean, yes, if it's more likely to be that than Bigfoot, but I'm saying more like little Timmy was on YouTube consuming hours of Planet of the Ape trailers and then went out for a hike with mom and dad on spring break 'cause it's the first sunny day in 4 months. It goes, there's a monkey! And then dad's a fucking drunk lunatic and goes into the news and goes, my son saw Bigfoot.
If Bigfoot is not real, how are there 5+ seasons of shows searching for him where people continue to watch?
And how many have they found?
Well, also,
it's
Patrick
to
will
be
tell you,
determined.
I don't know if you know this or not, Peter, but Patrick will tell you this. In our early days of Extinct or Alive, I remember this well. I'm sure Patrick does too. But I remember one of the main comments, which was on a call that I just sat very quietly and listened to Patrick and our other partner, Eric, handle. And they go, well, what if you never find anything? And Patrick speaks up and goes, and how many Bigfoot have they found in the 6 seasons of Finding Bigfoot?
Yeah.
And the executive literally went, good point.
Yeah, most popular show on Discovery, by the way.
Yeah, and at that time, it was still airing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a really
interesting.
funny anecdote to that I still remember. This was back when I used to take internet criticism seriously. Right when Extinct or Alive premiered was when they canceled Finding Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And there was a Twitter thread. You know, I had like 9 Twitter followers at the time. And there was a Twitter thread that tagged me that had 150 comments or tweets or whatever.
Yeah.
That was like, this is the dumbest show in history. They're never going to find. And it was, sorry, I should have explained this. There was a Twitter thread started by the Finding Bigfoot fan base that
You gotta
literally
be
all
kidding me.
piled on going, this is the stupidest show ever to replace Finding Bigfoot. They're never going to find anything.
That is shocking.
And I was like, wait a minute.
I have a theory on why these shows work, and I'm sure that you know much better than I do, but I watch these shows sometimes, and it's really about watching adults get to go live out childhood fantasies. They're exploring, they're setting up like hunting things, they're rappelling across up and down walls, they're doing all kinds of crazy shit, and they have fun technology to do it with. FLIR cams, all kinds of night vision.
Yeah.
And it's like, you never have to find them because you can see like some kind of, one of the producers can go stand behind a tree and peek around it in FLIR vision. That looks really cool.
well, let me ask you this, Forrest, as the naysayer of Sasquatch.
Yeah.
If Sasquatch wasn't real, why did a call come in last week to...
He's already
these-
laughing at his own very
Stevens-
stern point.
No, the Stevens County Sheriff in
Okay.
Washington received a phone call.
Okay.
It was a gentleman who asked whether or not it was illegal in Stevens County to shoot a Sasquatch and if his regular hunting license was enough for him to kill a Sasquatch.
To bag it.
He also added that he would promise not to shoot a female Sasquatch and that he would only shoot a male.
I love that this is all documented, by the way.
Yeah.
So why would that have happened if Sasquatch wasn't real?
No,
pal?
it wouldn't. You've completely undermined my point, and I'm wrong.
That's proof.
I love how he's not going to shoot a female because he
Right.
definitely can tell the difference.
Well, one's got a nice big cock.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What? Lovely.
Yeah,
It's
big,
lovely.
lovely big cock. By the way, that call came from one of those people on that Twitter thread years ago that you were talking about. just now.
Seriously. Well, I think that's where those guys lived. But
But I love this stuff. It illuminates the imagination, dude. It's like aliens. I'm sold on aliens. I believe that there's something out there, and that's what it is. It's plausible curiosity that is not too overboard. Like, it could be real. It's not like flat Earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's got a plausibleness to it that keeps it exciting.
all right, so let me riddle you this.
Riddle me, please.
What's the biggest movie in theaters at the moment? I know we just sort of asked that question. But
I actually don't know. I have no idea. I haven't been to the movies in 10 years.
Dude, I'm big into sci-fi.
What is it?
You must be talking about Dune.
by far.
Yeah, it's
by
crazy.
far.
Yep.
Well,
biggest.
get this. What's the big creature in Dune? Sandworms, right?
Right.
Or whatever they call them. I don't know what I haven't seen Dune 2 yet. But
Yeah.
Have you seen it, by the way?
No.
Have you seen it?
I
No.
read the book and I did not like it.
Oh,
People
apparently
think
it's
I'm
like
crazy.
the greatest movie ever.
And
kind of
book.
thing.
People get very angry
Yeah.
in the sci-fi realm when you say it sucks.
Anyway, as the naysayer of cryptids in the group here,
Mhm.
I just learned that the inspiration for the animals, the big sandworms in the movie Dune, come from a known cryptid. Did you know this?
No idea.
Kyle, give us a Mongolian deathworm.
Ooh!
Kyle, for $1, give us a Mongolian deathworm.
I love that name already.
Pretty nice, huh? Pretty nice.
Yes.
Take a look at this. I sat next to someone on a plane who spent an hour and a half telling me about this that I didn't want to hear about. But
Wow, look at this thing.
this is like a known cryptid, the Mongolian
Oh, yeah.
deathworm.
This is a big one.
I mean,
love this thing.
is that not the Dune creature?
It is.
Right?
It is. It's also the Tremors creature from that movie Tremors.
Star Wars with the rotating mouth. Remember with the
100%.
floaty thing?
Yes.
Kyle, go to let's get some facts here.
What's the story of the Mongolia? I know it. I believe it's in Mongolia.
Good guess.
Yep.
So reports of the Mongolian death worm known as Ologai kohorkii
Nice.
in Mongolia.
I'm sure
I don't
that
know.
was perfect.
Yeah, that's definitely how you say it. In Mongolian folklore have existed for many, many centuries.
Yeah.
The first written accounts came by Westerners.
Oh, really?
So isn't that interesting,
That's
right?
very
In other words,
interesting.
Westerners went there in the early 1920s, and there was an explorer named Roy Chapman Andrews who mentioned it in his book On the Trail of Ancient Man when he first went to Mongolia to study the people, actually, the anthropology of it all. And according to local legend, the creature is said to live in the Gobi Desert and possesses a deadly venom, and it's a giant worm that lives under the sand.
What's the plausibility of this, Forrest? This could exist, honestly.
Well, I've always said this, and I'll always continue to say this. All of these cryptid creatures are founded in some kind of an animal, like an origin story,
sure.
right? Kyle, pull up a Kenyan sand boa.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Look at this
big sand
creature.
boa.
Okay? Maybe go to a video so you can understand it. Look at this animal.
Well, this doesn't look like the Mongolian death worm.
Well, just calm down because there's going to be some nerd talking about on YouTube here. But the point is, it's our nerd. It's Clint.
Clint's
It's our
reptiles.
favorite
Love
nerd.
this guy.
Yeah, Clint is
I wish I
literally
had
probably.
his demeanor.
Oh,
Dude, he's so great.
He's great.
Um,
Professor Clint.
Okay, well, I was hoping you'd see one burrowing and digging in the sand. That's what I'd hoping you'd see.
Okay.
But my point is, it's probably founded in something like this. So these sand boas live entirely under the sand. Kyle, see if you can find one burrowing because it's actually pretty remarkable.
Is
2
that
to 5?
borrowing or burrowing?
No, borrowing money.
Borrowing.
Is,
Okay.
is that what I said?
It is.
Well, I'm sticking with it.
Out of space.
And out of space. And I think something like the Mongolian death worm is founded
Sure.
in the origin of something like this. Like imagine you're out traversing the desert
Mm-hmm.
and you see a 3-foot-long chody snake pop out of the
It is
sand.
a chode, isn't
It's
Yeah.
a total chode. And it pops out of the sand, slithers, and then dives back into the sand.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit, I just saw a sand death worm.
Yeah.
Right? It's a snake. You know snakes are typically venomous. These ones are harmless, but you know they're deadly, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a known thing. Snake's bad. And then you see it pop out of the sand and pop back in and burrow. And you tell Jimmy to the left and you go, there was a 3-foot snake, death worm that just burrowed out of the sand. He tells Fred on the right, who's like, there was a 5-foot snake.
Yeah.
And before you know it, by the time they get back to the village, there's, 120-foot-long
It's
death
telephone.
worm.
It's the game telephone.
yeah.
Pull that animal up again.
Mongolian death worm.
So when Andrews went there, he said that the locals told him that it looked like a sausage, was 2 to 5 feet long, and looked much like a lizard with no arms or legs.
Tell me.
I mean, that's basically
that's
a Kenyan
correct.
sand boa.
that's
Correct.
exactly
Kyle,
a Kenyan sand
for
boa.
God's sakes, find a video of this thing burrowing. You're killing me here.
he's
Small.
tired.
He's also dying laughing.
Can I have a little aside of Kyle's story?
Yeah.
So last night he comes here. He goes, "Hey man, don't get scared. I'm coming to the
Don't get
office
scared.
because don't
Don't watch me is what he was saying.
Yeah, and I
Look
said
at this. Watch this real quick while we talk. Look at how it
Very
just
cool.
dives. I mean, this is the worst video.
it's
anyone's ever
literally a worm-sized snake going into a kiddie pool.
made. Anyway, sorry. Tell me. I should.
Yeah, so
you for that.
Kyle, I'm like, Kyle, feel free to unplug that camera. I don't want to spy on you. But he didn't unplug it all the way, and so the audio was still coming through, and I
Uh-oh.
obviously wanted to take a listen.
Yeah,
No joke.
Kyle is bright red. If you could see Kyle's face right now.
I tried to give him the audio to play it. He refused.
Yeah.
Literally, I couldn't tell if he was working out or masturbating.
Oh, what do you think, Peter?
Oh,
Kyle,
No.
did you finally
Swear to
bring a
God.
date over?
No, of course not.
he refused to play it on air, so I'll try and get it in the video.
Kyle,
Right.
when are you bringing a date to the studio?
When I find one.
That's a pretty good answer. Yeah.
If we have any listeners in Thousand Oaks,
Yeah.
DM Kyle. Kyle, what's your DM?
It's at Force Galante.
Oh,
Nice.
well played. Well played. Yeah, send me your nudes. I will vet them and pass the good ones on to Kyle.
nobody knows what Kyle looks like.
That's true. I never
Yeah.
realized that. Does anyone know what you look like?
Maybe
Yeah,
for-
because he
maybe for
pops on.
bonuses.
He pops on.
Oh yeah, he
In
does pop on.
bonuses, though. If you want to know what Kyle looks like, the
Yeah.
one and only. If you want to know whether he's actually 8 years old or an adult male, all you have to do is sign up for the Patreon.
Just do the Patreon sign up and see what Kyle looks like.
Anyway,
All
so
right.
that's where I think the Mongolian deathworm came from. I got another
Like
one of
this.
those that's interesting too.
What is it?
What
You want to
got?
hear about it?
I do.
The bunyip.
Oh, the bunyip?
You know about this?
Yeah, Australia.
Yeah. Look at this thing. So there's this creature. What is it? Bunyip.
Bunyip.
Bunyip. Okay.
Bunyip.
I only just. Well, you know, you can start clicking, and then there's the wormhole,
yeah.
and
Well, what you do, and I think I know where you're going to go with this,
yeah.
is you like to look at folklore and cryptids and then figure out what you think it might have been based on.
Right. Exactly right. The justification for it.
Yeah, this is part of Australian Aboriginal folklore.
Yeah, so
Okay.
why don't we do
Bunyip
this? You know
creature.
it better than I do, but I know what I think it may have very slim possibility been
Sure.
founded by. So why don't you explain the creature?
Yeah,
and then
pull
I'll
up a
explain where I
picture,
think it came
Kyle, of the
from.
bunyip. But yeah, it's, rooted in Aboriginal folklore in Australia. And it's this sort of like, it pops out of the water, but it's furry.
Mm-hmm.
And there's different depictions where it kind of almost has like a seal-like
Go to
body.
that other picture, Kyle. So the one,
you go.
that one, or even the fourth one. That one does exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
The fourth one as well.
Yeah. So it's a four-legged sort of mammalian-looking thing, but it comes up out of the water and it fucking eats you.
Yikes. Looks
So-
like it has webbed toes.
I know
And
where you-
we know that everything tries to kill you in Australia, so
But
Fits right in.
I know where you guys think I'm going to go with this. What's the animal I always like to talk about in that part of the world?
thylacine.
Right.
Ah.
Oh, no. No,
Oh,
no.
no.
I'll feed you baby birds, but it's not that.
Water thylacine.
Pretty much. So, Kyle, type in thylocoleo.
Oh, it is another
Thylocoleo.
thylo.
Thylocoleo. So check out this animal. So
Thylocoleo.
while the thylacine was the marsupial wolf, this creature, the thylocoleo, was the marsupial lion. This was like the feline-y
Holy
version,
shit.
if you would. How
Wow.
cool is this creature?
Also, by the way,
Very
that
cool.
one, cute.
Yeah, that's
It's like a little
Go to the second
beaver
picture.
head.
Okay, go to that picture right there. Now go back to our bunyip
Let's see this
picture.
bunyip.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's
Right?
close.
So
Absolutely.
When Kyle, go to the info on the bunyip. When was it first described? I'm curious if that's written there at all.
1890.
1890 was the first
1890.
illustration.
When was thylocoleo driven to? I'm pretty sure it's before human settlement. But the point is, it might. Let's see. When was thylocoleo driven to extinction? But imagine this. This is what I'm getting at. Imagine you're the very first settlers to Australia, human settlers coming across from Australasia, Indonesia area, right, and popping down into Australia. And you cross paths with the thylocoleo. This was 40,000 years ago that the thylocoleo
damn.
went extinct. So not that long ago. But imagine now look this up, because I should have done this before bringing it up, but I think it's interesting. When were the first human beings set foot on the continent of Australia?
You think it's going to be close to 40?
Even if it's not, like,
Yeah.
Look at that.
65,000
look
years.
at that, 40,000 years ago. Imagine coming across, stepping foot on Australia.
No, indigenous Australians, 65,000 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
So for 20,000 years, these things were living alongside human beings.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, maybe they actually went extinct 30,000 years ago. I'm not saying there's still thylocoleo. I don't believe that.
Right.
But what I am saying is this bunyip or whatever is likely founded in Aboriginal folklore generations and generations ago, and has been passed down through oral tradition and cave paintings and drawings and everything else for 40,000 years, and morphed from a real living incredible creature, this marsupial lion, into the bunyip, which is like, oh, if you're not careful, kids, it's going to pop out of the swamp and grab you.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, for sure.
I will also say, what is that one on the left in the column you're on?
What the hell?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, my
I like its
goodness.
jowls.
Yeah.
I've got to say, the thylocoleo, you look at that thing, what a fucking shame that that's not still around.
Right? Isn't that incredible?
How big was that thing?
Big, like way bigger than the thylacine.
Wow.
Let's see what
Like
it
the
says
size
here.
of a lion? Okay.
No,
yeah.
no, not quite that big, but yeah, 1.8 meters. So whatever that is. So there's the thylacine. There's the thylocoleo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
it's cool looking.
Yeah,
It looks marsupial. It looks much more marsupial-like than the thylacine does.
that's true. Yeah. Well, like I said, they call the thylacine the marsupial wolf, and they call the thylocoleo the marsupial lion.
Can you call your buddies at what's that company that's doing this
Colossal
stuff? Yeah,
Biosciences.
Have them bring thylocoleo back.
God,
God,
I just
got
got
the shirt on right now.
I do.
I'd
Yeah.
like to domesticate.
I just
one.
got to keep prodding them, like, hey, yeah, we need thylacine. But when you're done with that, just
Needs
gotta
a
keep
pal to hang out with.
The list is getting long.
Yeah.
Do they have any plans for the dodo? Sometimes in life, you wish you could have things both ways, and you just can't. Like, I wish I could do what I do every Friday night, eat an entire large pizza and drink 2 bottles of red wine and then not feel like a fat pig in the morning. But
fair enough.
You can't have it both ways. But with clothes, right? It's like back in the day, you want to look sharp, but it's not comfortable.
Can't move.
You can't even drive in it.
So stiff. Yeah.
Well,
a suit. Ugh.
I discovered the brand Mac Welden. I think our brosteners are going to love.
Game changer.
You can have it both ways. You can look sweet and be comfortable. I got the AirKnit boxer brief. It's, you know why it's called AirKnit?
It's flowy.
It feels like you're free.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It feels like you're free. The silver crew neck t-shirts are awesome.
Yep.
My favorite one, the Ace sweat pant.
Dude, you love those. You got the
Yeah,
sand
you're
color.
always in sweat.
Sometimes
You
I'll
love those.
just put my AirKnit briefs on, my sweats.
Good
very
to go.
3-4
stylish.
days later, I haven't changed.
The thing that I really like about the Mac Weldon stuff is like it's the anti-male peacocking.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, I have peacocks.
You
I
hate
hate peacocks.
hate
I
peacocks.
hate them. If you're a guy that wears a rhinestone shirt, don't talk to me. Just don't do it. But the Mac Weldon stuff is like you look good, but it's not
Classic.
like flashy in your face attention. Like I hate that look.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
fits subtle. Just fits nice, feels good. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, you don't stick out like a sore thumb peacock. Well, get that timeless look with modern comfort from Mac Weldon. Go to MacWeldon.com. 20% off your first order with promo code WILD. That's MacWeldon.com. Promo code WILD. That's right.
WILD.
20% off your first order.
Yeah, feels good, looks good.
I'm excited for tonight, baby.
Hell yeah, baby.
So Peter's coming over. We've both got clearance to sit in the garage and watch playoffs. We got NBA. We got Celtics Heat tonight. We're gonna have the Stars Golden Knights NHL playoffs on the other TV, and we've got quite a bit of action on PrizePicks. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, dude, I'm so stoked. PrizePicks literally is the only reason I can watch sports when Chicago never plays in any of the playoffs. for anything.
Yeah, exactly. But if you have not tried it, you want to get in on this fun playoff action, win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks. As you and the world's best players, me, I'm one of them, take the game to a new level during basketball's postseason, hockey postseason. You can win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. So for me, that's turning $10 into $1,000
Ooh, lucky.
with as little as 4 correct picks. What do you think? You think we're going to win big tonight?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to win something, that's for sure.
Yeah, we went big on tonight because we're getting together. It's really fun. It's really easy. If you want to get in on this, it is really fun and really simple. Download the app today. Use the code WILD for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, you just download the app, PrizePicks. Use the code WILD for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Yeah.
What do
So
they
the
do?
3 announced species right now are in order. It's thylacine, dodo, mammoth. So that's the order that they're coming back.
Oh, wow.
Thylacine,
Okay.
Dodo, mammoth. Okay.
Yeah. Which
Wow.
I think, are all on this shirt, right? So
Is-
there's the dodo, there's the mammoth, there's the thylacine.
What's the? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, can we get elephant bird on the list?
I sure hope so.
You got some sway over
No,
there.
but he's right. I mean, and that's the point of this, right? The real point is Colossal Biosciences is a conservation company, which is awesome. Like they're doing a lot like northern white rhino and stuff that still exists, but that doesn't make headlines. The splashy stuff that makes headlines that allows them to get funded is like, hey, we're bringing back a dodo.
Yeah.
And the reason being humans directly drove dodo to extinction. Humans also directly drove elephant bird, moa, and heist eagle to extinction, right? So these are all creatures that should be in the lineup. I don't know if they are. I mean, I talk about things like the thylacine a lot and the mammoth with them, but these should all be in the lineup one day, which is exciting.
What's the?
Look at the elephant bird versus an ostrich.
It's
That's
crazy.
Go to
huge.
that
It's
one,
like a
dude.
dinosaur size.
Oh, that's not an
Second
ostrich.
photo.
Yeah.
What's the timeline on
fuck
like the
off.
first de-extinction coming out of Colossal? Like 5 years, 10 years?
I have some proprietary info I definitely can't talk about. It's not 5 years.
Wow.
It's a lot less.
Okay.
A lot less.
That's exciting, man.
Yeah.
Very exciting. What's the plans for them to do?
What's the proprietary info?
Yeah, that's
No,
what
no,
he's
no.
getting at. Totally.
I'm not. What's the plan? Like, what are they gonna do with this animal once they create it? Are they going to have like a plot of land that they
Yeah,
put these?
so everything that they're planning on doing de-extinction with has a whole plan, right?
Yeah.
It's not willy-nilly, like, let's bring it back and throw it in a zoo. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, proof of concept, then how many do you bring back? Like, test
A
sample,
lot. And then unleash them in Times Square.
everywhere. Yeah. No, but like how, sample area, like how long, how does the animal behave? Is it
Yeah.
learning from other creatures? Like there's a whole rollout for each thing. But I know that doesn't really directly answer your question, but the point is,
But it is interesting.
it's not willy-nilly. It's not just like, oh, let's bring back 20 thylacine and throw them in Tasmania. It's like, no, it's a fenced-off area, and
I'd fund that if I was a billionaire.
yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio just did.
Colossal?
Yeah, his
That's
organization Rewild just partnered with them on everything, but like specifically aimed at thylacine and what they've announced, dodo and mammoth. So
That's awesome, man. That's
Yeah.
good news in, the,
cool,
in the
huh?
conservation world right there.
yeah, it's exciting stuff.
It really is,
It's
man.
fun. I can't wait. It when it does come to fruition, like with the first de-extinction,
Yeah.
it's just that's gonna be the marker in human history of wildlife science of like a shifting point.
You know what kind of like bums me out though is knowing that shift will come and it will be gargantuan, and then because of TikTok and everybody's attention span, it'll be out of the news within a week.
Oh yeah, 48 hours later we'll be back to looking at a big bottom and a G-string.
The world is
Yeah.
in a sad state. But hey, did you guys hear about this snake that was airmailed back to its owner after being missing for a year?
Sorry, I don't know why I hadn't thought of this sooner, especially when we're sitting here talking about thylacine. I do want to talk about that. I know the news story. Can I
Yeah.
show you guys something amazing?
Of
You probably
course.
saw me hiding it, but look at this.
Oh yeah, dude. The paintong.
Look at this.
Let's see this.
Louise McNaught, the artist,
Oh,
Painted-
dude.
she did this for us
love
for the
it.
studio.
That's incredible.
How gorgeous this.
What's her name?
Louise.
Luis.
Yeah, McNaught, I think is how it's pronounced. Kyle, pull up her Instagram. It's freaking awesome.
Dude, I'm no artist, but I really like the
Oh, yeah, we
style of this painting.
Where are we
Isn't
gonna
it
hang
cool?
that?
I don't know, but we're definitely going to be hanging it. But like, how cool is it? It's like the thylacine is subtle,
Yeah.
and then like the cool color art bits around it. I don't know. It's
The,
just
I
the
love- I
wet
really
nose.
like it.
The wet nose always gets me on
dude,
animals.
so shiny. I just want to give him a little kiss.
I know, dude, right?
Yeah.
Such a cool looking
But
painting.
anyway,
man.
huge thank you to Luis for this. I mean, it's such a beautiful painting. It's so cool for the studio. It's obviously something we talk about a lot. So that was the right time
Absolutely.
to bring it up. I just didn't want to
Yeah.
move on in story. So
absolutely. That painting is
apologies.
amazing.
yeah, and if you guys haven't seen, and obviously this is a plug for her because her art's amazing and she made this for us, but please go check her out. I follow her on Instagram and she does a bunch of really cool art, critically endangered animals. Like,
Do you have the giant dildo under your chair that somebody sent you that you're going to show everybody too?
that's for personal use.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not for
Well, moving on.
What's in the news, Kyle?
What's in the news?
Do it. You can't find it.
What's in
No
the
idea
news?
where it is.
Sir, news from the underground.
Okay, doing all our little jingles for us. I love that guy.
So good.
Yeah, so I've been excited. I don't get excited about many news stories. You guys are the one who go through it, pick them out. But this one, I was like, this is bananas because the headline said that a snake got airmailed back to its owner after a year. And I was like, what? So it turns out that a snake had gotten loose. A 3-foot-long corn snake was missing for an entire year out in England.
Spennymoor.
Spennymoor.
Was it Spennymoor?
So it's an escape, a typical pet escape. And a year later, the snake gets dropped by a crow into the owner's backyard a year later. Can you believe this?
Not really. That is a 1 in a billion.
This is a pet snake who endured the cold temperatures over the winter and just actually got dropped onto the garage roof
That's hilarious.
at the same place. It's absolutely insane. This just proves how goddamn smart birds, particularly crows,
You think the crow
are.
brought it back? He's like,
Yes!
you're lost.
He's like, you're lost?
Yeah.
There's no way.
me help
He probably picked it up. It got away, and then he was like, you know what? This snake deserves to
This
live.
should really be a Disney movie,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
right? Like from the POV of the snake, and he escapes, and then he's lost, and he wishes he hadn't done it,
It's genius.
and then he spends a half a year out in the wilds of England meeting British animals with top hats and monocles,
he
and
talks
then
to Cookie.
yeah,
So-
meets
so
a nice crow.
A corn snake gets out the front door, out
Yep.
the back door, whatever.
Mhm.
How big would a corn snake's range be living in the suburbs? like a yard or two?
No, they could travel far. I mean, I would say easily 10 square mile radius.
Really?
Easily. Yeah.
What-
Oh,
what is it?
I
'Cause
thought they
they're-
just like burrowed and they're like, this is
No,
where I
they're
live now.
cruising. So corn snakes live in Illinois, you know, like, and a bunch. Well, actually, are they in Illinois? They might be slightly
Out in the
further
Midwest
south.
somewhere.
But yeah, all the way down to the southeast.
Yeah.
And so they can endure very harsh climates. Like they're, you know, they can go through a Midwestern winter.
Yeah.
So, you know, it makes sense that it could survive in rainy, cold, freezing England.
Yeah. And they burrow to stay warm, I assume?
Yeah, they'll
Like-
go underground during the winter and all of that. But yeah, no, I mean, in the spring and summer when they're out looking for prey, they'll go and go and go. They could easily cover 10 square miles.
So he got out.
He obviously
spends a
didn't, by the
year.
way. He obviously
Right.
wasn't 10 miles away. He was probably a
Hey.
quarter mile away.
Right.
He might have been.
In the movie rendition, he was.
All right. All right. So how about this? How big of a range do crows cover?
That one we could probably Google. I mean, definitely large. But they have home territories. But
Right.
yeah,
And they like, you know, they know
Crows
where
don't-
they're at.
Crows don't make nests, do they?
they do.
Oh,
Yeah,
they do, okay.
Absolutely.
Kyle,
So the crow is out
It's,
cruising around, sees a 3-foot snake, goes,
It
that's
says
a big-
range is generally 0 to 60 kilometers. So what's that? That's 30-ish miles.
I think it's isn't kilometer.
It's
I'm not even
2.2.
going
Yeah,
to
it's
sound
25,
so dumb.
25 miles.
25 miles. Yeah.
All right. So the crow's out cruising. The snake's, let's say, 2 blocks away.
hmm
He's survived a year doing his thing. Picks it up. The snake's struggling. It's a big snake, 3
Yep.
feet. Drops it onto the roof of the garage.
Yep.
Interesting.
So to be clear, the crow was not helping the corn snake. He was trying to eat
I'm
the corn
well
snake.
aware of
Okay.
it.
Right.
Just wanted to
right.
make sure everybody listening, because I don't think we addressed that, was like, ooh, a big bright orange candy cane treat.
like
Right.
it was
And-
a friendly.
And then, by the way, like corn snakes, Kyle, while we finish this up, scroll, it's way back on my Instagram, but you'll see a coiled up orange snake trying to bite the Jesus out of me, maybe in the reels, probably. That'll probably be faster. They can be relentlessly awful.
Really?
Like, yeah. And it's funny because they're one of the most popular snakes in the pet trade.
Yeah.
Because they're beautiful, they're common, they're easy. And most of the time, ones that you hand raise or play with are super docile. But a wild corn snake is a nightmare creature. Like it will just lunge and bite and be super violent. Like they're terrible to catch.
what do these
Yeah.
guys eat?
Mostly rodents.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep
so
going down, Kyle. We'll
They're
look
carnivores. They're not eating like. Are all snakes carnivores?
here. Yes, there are no snakes.
They don't eat corn though.
Oh.
Dude, I was
There
just
it is.
thinking I could
Yep.
use one of these corn snakes.
Look at
in
this
my
guy.
yard.
Look at this guy. So this is on
You could, Pat.
what's that fancy place in
Is this slow mo?
South Carolina? What's that island with all the golf
Hilton
happens?
Head?
Yes, this is Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Oh my goodness! Explain what's going on
He
here
goes
for
right at your
audio
face,
only.
So
listeners.
I saw him in this bush exactly where he is and went in to try and pick him up and he lunged at me exactly like you're doing and then I said to Jess, grab my phone.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna make him do it again. So I blow on him here just because I wanted to show people how far they can lunge. But look at that.
Wow.
Well, also because you're an idiot.
No, it's fun.
No, I know.
It's fun.
Oh, I thought you were saying he's an idiot because he was wearing khaki shorts.
Dude, great luck.
Kyle, I sent you a little picture via email just because we were talking about whether or not crows make nests. Have you guys seen this picture right here? This is a nest that some bird has made.
That's awesome.
What? Explain what we're looking at. What you think
Sure.
we're looking at here?
Well, I know what we're looking at. We're looking at a muskie or maybe a pike, but probably a muskie fish that's got stuck in a tree, probably either from receding flooding or more likely a fisherman like chucking it in a tree.
Okay.
And then it's dried out and died, creating a cavernous mouth in amongst its jaggedly sharp teeth
Yeah.
in the tree. And there's a family of robins nesting in it, in its mouth.
Bro, if you are not watching this podcast, this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. the fish has the teeth, sharp ass teeth still intact, like barbs around the nest to protect it.
Pretty solid.
And
It's
like
a great
if
nest.
Yeah.
another
These birds are
bird
very
comes
lucky.
by, it's not coming near this
No
nest.
way.
It thinks it's gonna get eaten.
Straight up.
Wild, dude.
Yeah. Wild
Loved
times.
It. Wild times.
It is cool. Actually, it's funny is I think Edwin sent that picture in our group chat.
It was me, but
Oh, sorry. You sent that picture in our group chat, and it was on the phone, so I just looked at it, and I didn't get it. I was like, okay, there's a fish in a tree.
yeah.
I didn't realize until right now
Yeah.
there was a family of birds in its mouth.
Here's what I love about you, Forrest. I actually sent it, and in the text it says the most probable explanation is a fish jumped for a bug in the tree, got stuck, and died, and a badass bird thought it would make a great nest. And I put that there with the picture.
You did.
It's hard. It's hard to get the attention of
I'm not a
people.
reader.
I
Okay?
don't-
Words are hard.
I also don't. The WhatsApp thing is tough for me. I don't
Why?
quite get the
We know.
interface. I don't quite
That's-
get it.
It's a text thread. How do you not get the interface?
It's just different. The green.
Well, what do you prefer?
Oh, speaking of the green, have you seen that lawsuit?
No, what?
No.
You guys don't know what I'm talking about? This is hilarious. Okay, there is a massive lawsuit where Android users, in aka our idiot friend over here,
Wow.
are suing. Hear me out. Why? That's why I'm singling you out.
No, I'm with them already. I know what you're going to say.
They're suing Apple because it's I think it's defamation of their product or something like that. Kyle will find the title in a second here because of the green bubble versus blue bubble.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
You know what I'm talking about, right? When
Of course,
I
yeah.
send you a text, it's blue because we
blue.
have iPhones like normal adults. When we send him a text, it goes green and goes through about 10% of the time, and you can't add an attachment, and you can't send a picture.
Intentionally by Apple, and they should be sued. It's utter bullshit.
There it is. Green bubble shaming at play in the DOJ suit against Apple. And it's because
100%.
they're claiming, by the way, they're claiming in the lawsuit, because I just read the brief overview of it, they're claiming in the lawsuit that it's specifically targeting poor financial minority groups because they can't afford iPhones.
It's
So
true.
they're making them feel ostracized by having a green bubble.
I'm
The
100%
Android
behind
phones
them.
are just as expensive. Aren't
No,
they?
they're not. You can get there's only one iPhone. I mean, there's like 3 iPhone versions, but the minimum one you pay what, like $600 for?
I
Anyways,
have no idea.
Androids, you can get $100 decent Android. That's not a flagship phone. Works perfectly, except that when you're on any group text with any iPhone asshole and anybody, even the other iPhone users, try to send any video or
Nothing
anything,
works.
it makes it a tiny,
It never
shitty,
works.
like video you can't see. So you're like, this is why I moved to WhatsApp. I'm like, hey, let's talk on WhatsApp.
Yeah,
or
WhatsApp
Signal.
works.
But here's the thing.
But it's
I'm behind them
hold on.
100%.
I'm not, and I'll explain why.
Fuck Apple.
It's
I'd also
just
like to-
software.
I want
It's-
to point out, this is not a bunch of goons. This is the United States federal
Correct.
government
Correct.
suing Apple, the
It's
Department
hilarious.
of Justice.
The DOJ.
The
Yeah, it's
DOJ, baby.
It's crazy.
I'm behind them.
But I don't get it. Like, the whole point is it's software. If I'm sending Pat a message and it's blue, it's an iMessage. It's not a text
No.
message. It's a different thing.
It's the other elements that we're talking about. It's not. So, yes, green bubble shaming is the click. That's what gets the click for the article. The lawsuit, I'm sure, talks about all these other things that I'm talking about, which is the fact that they intentionally make it a poor user experience.
Yeah, it's terrible.
To be in a message thread with any Android users. It's BS, bro.
Well, I'll
Well,
see you in court because I'm going to keep shaming you on your
I'll be right
Android.
behind the DOJ, baby.
So my fantasy football thread used to have everybody in the league in it.
All blue.
No, it wasn't.
Not all blue until they kicked out the Android
I was going to
users.
say,
Yeah.
a new thread without one guy who lives in Springfield,
You
Massachusetts
have to.
was just, we started a new thread without him.
You literally
You
have
guys
to do
are
it.
was too
monsters.
You have to.
frustrating.
It's
You're
so
monsters.
frustrating. You can't send attachments, PDFs, videos,
Yeah.
links work half the time.
This-
You have to do
You're
it.
right, and Apple does that intentionally. I can't believe you're standing behind this
I'm with
bullshit.
it. I'm with it.
Ah! By the way, I want everybody to weigh in the comments on this shit because it's the most triggering shit that I have talked about on this pod in
but
years.
yet you won't.
Just buy an iPhone.
Hell no, dude. I buy a beautiful, faster, better software. I have the ability to download any apps I want. I'm not locked into a shitty ass ecosystem. I'm not a dum-dum.
Ecosystem.
I know how to actually use phones and computers. iPhones are made for dum-dums who have no better use than to watch porn and jerk it.
Have you tried the experience though on an iPhone?
Yeah.
No.
The surround sound from your AirPods.
Oh, God, you got to buy AirPods now, and there's hundreds of other wireless
Yeah,
headphones
they're
that are
only
cheaper.
$1,000.
Jesus, get out of my face. But listen, I mean, it's a good product.
Get
I'm not
out of
gonna
my
bash.
face.
I'm not gonna bash Apple, but they do some shady ass shit, and this is one of the things.
Yeah,
the product
true.
is nice. I'm not gonna deny that.
Apparently, they're going to start implementing iMessage on Androids, but still green.
As long
As long as they keep it green, I do want
That's
this
fine.
segregation.
Yeah, I
See,
want the same.
I
I'm
like
with Pat.
I'm okay with the segregation.
I
but
need to know if somebody has a shit
Yeah.
phone.
if they fix the fact that I could send a normal sized damn video that's not all pixelated to a group text, I'll be
I
fine.
literally
I've
cannot-
overheard
Okay.
one of my wife's single friends saying that, you know, she's like doing the dating app
Yeah.
stuff, and that she bailed on a guy because of the green.
Oh, straight up.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
doubt it
that'll
at all.
happen.
I
By
don't
the
doubt
way,
it at all.
bullet dodged on that bitch. Fuck her, dude.
Oh yes, I mean, there's a reason why she's 36 and single.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's heinous
seriously.
for sure.
Biggest eye roll of my life. No wonder you're fucking single.
I,
Dumbass.
Kyle, clip this out and send it to
Yeah.
Christina.
I don't
please.
know who she is, but based on this, I'm glad that whoever she was talking to doesn't ever have to talk to her again.
Dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Red flag.
I've never seen him this fired up. I don't think.
No,
It's
it's a
infuriating.
hot button thing
Dude,
for him.
I cannot, and we will move on. I cannot, just so you know, send you a message
Yes.
that has a video and photo together.
Bro,
It can't send. It
There
won't send.
has been times in our professional relationship when we're trying to accomplish business things that will progress the company where you won't get my text for 2 days.
Oh, yeah,
and then
regularly.
you'll get mad or like
Yes.
it's a miscommunication. It's literally
I was once
destroying
furious
businesses.
at you. Do you remember that?
Yes,
I was like,
do.
you
Destroying
never sent it
businesses.
to me, and I was so mad at you.
You
and
sent
it, like,
me a screenshot.
it was on like a Friday, and the message came in on like a Wednesday the following
100%.
week.
I remember this, and I was like, and you sent a screenshot, and I was like, in my head, fuck, he just deleted the messages. That's all I did. Like,
And then you saw it 3 days later.
yes,
Yeah.
no, I know it's real now. That was the first time that I realized that iPhone intentionally destroys business and personal relationships.
All right, we must move on.
Something came to my attention today
Yes.
that was also ruining businesses.
Okay.
On Easter Sunday,
Mm-hmm. Also my birthday.
right here, just
Happy belated.
Thanks.
um,
Known each other for 10 years.
It's okay.
I have no idea when anyone's birthday is.
In Android, you can put a reminder that reminds you in the text thread.
That sounds
Just
nice.
saying.
But on Easter Sunday, there was a heist, a very cool heist.
A bunny heist? An egg
No,
heist?
it was not Easter eggs and it wasn't marshmallow peeps.
I definitely thought he was going that way with
yes,
the story.
peeps
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So some criminals
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right near here, up
Mhm.
in a little suburb of LA called Selmar.
Okay.
I didn't know these places existed, but you know how you see like Brinks trucks and cash trucks,
Sure.
Yes.
you know, that go around
Yeah.
and collect cash,
Yeah.
right?
Armed guards.
Yep.
There are facilities that those trucks then bring the cash to, and
Okay.
they for a short period of time store the cash
Before it
Wow.
then
before it
redistributes.
then goes to banks or
Okay.
whatever.
Gotta be
I
the
don't know exactly how it
Dumbest
works.
thing I've ever heard.
So this depository is sitting on $30 million
Jesus.
of cash.
Dude.
Wow.
Right?
I like where this is going. I hope they got away.
They fucking did. They have no idea.
Oh
There's
my-
no evidence except that they went in through the roof
Okay.
of the building, completely avoiding any cameras,
No way.
into the vault,
Holy
straight
shit.
in, out. One alarm was triggered, but it was not connected to local law enforcement.
No
Dude,
way.
So it's like the
Are
equivalent of
you-
like you've got ADT, but you don't pay the extra $10 to have
right,
them
right,
call
right,
the
right.
cops.
Yeah.
This
With
is
$30 million.
That's
Bro.
this is like Ocean's 11 shit.
This is crazy. This is why insurance companies are leaving California. I mean, like, the insurance company is going to be dealing with this $30 million loss because some asshole didn't pay his ADT bill.
All right, let's
So yeah, go ahead.
let's paint a picture here.
Okay.
We'll start with you,
Pay
Peter.
his bill.
What's your hypothetical as to how this went down? Who's the guy? Like, does he work at the company for 10 years? Is this a hood rat? Is this a lawyer from down the road who
Sure.
figured it out? Does he work at
No.
the security company?
Yeah.
Did he get 9 friends? Like,
Yeah.
let's paint a picture as to how we think this went down.
Well, you just painted Ocean's 11 as the picture.
Correct, yeah.
And I do think that it would be slightly similar. It's an inside job. Somebody
Okay.
knows or stalked and knows the entire schedule and watched and watched and watched. But knowing that you could go in through the roof
Yeah.
and figure out how to not be detected,
Yeah.
they must have had access to the security floor plans or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
What
this
do
is
you
the makings of a movie, right? I mean, I read a couple articles on it, and the LAPD spokesman said, you know, this is definitely like a highly experienced crew.
Oh, they did. They announced
Yes,
that.
Oh,
must
yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Like $30 million in cash, dude. I mean,
But listen to this, right?
Okay.
Go ahead. Good.
I think it's teenagers. I'm not even
Get
fucking
outta
kidding.
here.
I swear to God, I do.
are you kidding me?
Nope. I'm
You're a
dead
mental,
serious.
You're a mental person.
I think it's someone like 18 to 23 with one friend, 2 of them. They figured it out. Their dad worked at ADT for 10 years or something like that. They're a little bit estranged. They heard this and they're like, fuck it, let's go through the roof. And they just got lucky.
Wow.
Swear to God.
The fact
I
that
would
the
love
alarm
that
didn't
if that
go
was the
off is
case.
pretty lucky.
It triggered one,
And it didn't go anywhere.
But
it didn't go to anybody. But it evokes. So it's the biggest cash heist in the history of Los Angeles. 30 mil.
Congrats. I'm stoked for the people that stole
Well,
this money.
So
Jesus.
they're referencing something that happened 2 years ago in 2022,
Mhm.
and they're like, "Oh, could it be the same crew?
Mm.
Could it be the same crew?"
What
So,
happened 2 years ago?
2022. Listen to this shit.
Yeah.
100 million, a fucking single truck was transporting $100 million worth of diamonds
Oh my God.
that had gone to the International Gem and Jewelry Show.
Okay.
Wow.
One Brinks truck with 2 drivers
That's
Right?
crazy.
pulls up 3 a.m. to a Flying J gas station. One driver's asleep in the cab. The other one goes inside to get a meal. 27 minutes while the guy's inside.
7 minutes.
They come in,
inside.
they fucking clear out $100 million worth of diamonds.
From the back of the truck.
Yeah.
They didn't steal the truck.
No. The guy
How?
wakes up. Other guy comes in. He's like, "Hey, man, how was your meatball hoagie?" "It was pretty good." "Did you take a shit?" "Yeah." "How was your sleep?" "Terrible. I had a nightmare."
Dude.
"Where's the diamonds?" "Oh, fuck."
Are you kidding me? How on earth did they get into the vehicle without waking the guy up?
Unsolved. 2 years later, man.
Dude,
I love
how do
these
you
stories.
get rid of these diamonds in other countries? I suppose you got to take them elsewhere.
No, absolutely not. You just sell them off.
Have
I'm
you
dead
been
serious.
to the
Dude,
diamond district?
Go to any.
It is so shady.
Yeah, 100%. You can go to
You're
what are
tell-
those
You're
No, what-
telling me you think that 100 mil in diamonds got stolen? They're just going around L.A. selling them?
pawn shops?
what?
I'm not even kidding.
Oh, no, dude, you go to the diamond district,
Yeah.
the one in New York or even L.A.,
Yeah.
you go up, you know already who the... By the way, you don't plan a $100 million diamond heist unless you know how you're fencing it.
100%.
When you say fence, you mean your exit strategy? What does fencing mean?
Fencing is selling... A fence
Getting
is a
it out.
middleman.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Like
But, yeah,
laundering.
you go up to the guy and you go, "Here's a photo of diamonds I might have."
Right. What would you pay?
Yeah,
this
I'm
carat,
trying
this
to get
quality, yeah.
30% of what you will get, right?
Bro, are you kidding me? If you got to a fucking Kardashian or any of those like rich people, Montecito where I live, all those old ladies, you should see the fucking rings on their fingers walking around
All
at
stolen.
Lucky's and stuff. Of course they're fucking
All
stolen.
stolen.
Dude, are you telling me you can get a $100,000 diamond for 50 grand from you? They're like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
No questions asked. I don't care where it came from. They're old fucking blood diamons anyway.
Kyle,
they don't
wait.
care.
I'm going to make a drop right now, and I want you to record this and log it.
Okay.
Where's the animal news?
Okay.
What are you talking about?
no, I know.
Dude,
I've just always
Fuck is
wanted
wrong
that.
with you?
What do you
okay,
mean?
let me
No,
tell you
nothing. I
this.
was
Let me tell you this. I'm gonna sink myself a little bit here with how much I spend on something, but Jess, she does listen. Fuck it, don't care. For our 5-year wedding anniversary, he's already bored by this.
Well,
story.
you don't even
I'm
know.
just annoyed because if you spend a lot of money and then go ahead.
Should-
I mean, you don't know the difference between 5 and 10, though?
can you just listen to the story
Okay, sorry.
without being pricks, both of you?
I'm in a bad mood
Um,
now.
I went to the little antique store in Summerlin. Summerlin's got like 3 big antique stores up by where I live.
Yeah, but you
I-
went to the little one, so the fourth one.
I bought a $600 diamond ring for Jessica, like a band,
Yeah.
right?
Cubic zirconia.
It was $600.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that seems like a lot. She's like, no, I got it from an estate sale. It was worth like $1,400, blah, 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 blah. Got it for Jess, gave it to her. She was super stoked. Didn't fit. It was too big.
Mhm.
So we took it to a jeweler's in Santa Barbara named Bryant, which is like a diamond jeweler's.
Yeah.
They evaluated it. It was worth like $2,400.
Oh, really?
And I got it for $600. And
Okay.
so it had. But my point is, it was already worth $2,400. It had gone in an estate sale for like 14 or 12 or whatever, and I got it at this other place for $6.
Did you sell it immediately?
No, we kept it. We got it resized, and she's stoked. But I'm just saying, think about that. You can pick up these things at freaking estate sales. You can pick them up at
Yeah. Diamonds are bullshit.
anywhere, dude. Yeah, you can sell them. You can offload them.
A lot of
Artificial, what's that word where we don't have a lot of them? Artificial
scarcity.
scarcity. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
anyway.
Well,
Well,
I
that's
like
cool.
these guys.
I hope they deserve a movie.
I like these guys.
I do too. They deserve a movie.
Yes.
I think it's definitely the same crew. No questions asked. They're still teenagers in both cases.
Yeah, it's a Michael Mann movie, though, right? It's like Heat.
Yeah.
It's planning these heists.
Yeah.
I feel like your
guys are
best
cool.
your best bet these days is to somehow heist Bitcoin from somewhere. Because it's like nobody's tracking that. The
Didn't
cops
some
don't
guy
even
just
care.
go to jail over that?
Well, many people have gone to jail over
Okay.
it. But not apparently Well, the diamond heist seems to be the way to go. The money, the straight cash heist. Everybody's getting away with that stuff.
I like it. All right, what
Do
else
you?
we got? We got news. Wasn't there something else in the news? Kyle, go back into our
Oh,
news
sperm
section.
whale news.
Sperm whale news. Sperm news.
Oh, sweet.
Tell us about it.
I like this one.
Yeah. What happened?
I mean, we've seen sperm whales. We know a bit about them,
Yeah, they're great.
but we
Stop your
didn't.
heart with their sound.
Yeah. At
yeah,
the
that's
end
crazy.
of March, a new sperm whale behavior was documented for the first time in off the coast of Western Australia. It's called defecation.
Well, that sums it up.
Genius.
So sperm whale is so it's a pod of sperm whales. I didn't know they traveled in pods.
They do.
Okay, so you got a bunch of them, right? A bunch of fucking orcas come up. They're like, oh,
Killer
shit.
whales.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, fuck, this is bad. What do we do? So the entire pod releases simultaneous poop explosion into the
Okay.
water,
Genius.
and then they all get into a defensive circle with their heads together,
Oh,
Okay.
and they used their tails to fan the diarrhea shit out.
Is there a
to
video
cause-
of this, Kyle?
to
Can you see
cause
if
a
there's video of this?
distraction. And it worked. The
I'm
orcas were
sure.
like, I can't see what's going on. This is poop in my eye.
By the way,
Wow.
I've seen this in real life.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Are you talking about a hippo?
No, I can tell you the whole story.
Yeah, do.
I was at the
Please do.
SFO BART station,
Okay.
and a homeless guy was screaming and kicking a wall. This is a true story.
Okay.
And the like BART police came to remove him, and he fell down and shit himself. And they were picking him up, and they were like, "Nope," and they just left him lying there covered in poop.
Really?
Wow.
Swear to God, yeah.
Wow.
Defensive defecation. I saw it.
Did I ever tell you about the time I saw a guy passed out at the subway station, and I had just taken CPR classes for work, and so I thought a guy.
You didn't give him mouth to mouth, did you?
I went over there. Well, no, I didn't, but I'll tell you why. Because I had just taken the CPR class, and you try to determine if they're breathing.
Yeah.
And when I went to do that, he was just fucking stinky hard booze. I was like, oh, never mind.
He's alive.
He's just drunk.
Just
Yeah.
like, oh, never mind. I left.
I think it's really cool behavior. It doesn't surprise me. I mean, sperm whales are incredibly intelligent. Like they're pretty near the top with orcas.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they have all kinds of defensive mechanisms. I mean, this one's a very gross one, but it makes sense. I mean,
So, do you think this is?
Well, it worked.
yeah,
Do you think it's a new behavior? Like they just figured this out, or
could
do you
be.
think?
I doubt it. I
You-
think
they've
it's
been
more
doing it?
likely it just hasn't been documented.
I mean, it's so hard to even spot a sperm whale. I mean, sometimes you could see them on whale watches and stuff,
Yeah.
but they spend a lot of time really deep. It's not like a gray whale or a
Yeah.
humpback where you see them more often. So to then see a sperm whale pod getting attacked by orcas is very
Right,
rare.
Very rare. Yeah,
So
it's
they've
hard to
probably been
spot
doing it.
orcas. It's hard to spot sperm whales. That interaction is 1 in a million to witness as a human being, you know. And then the fact that it was a whole pod and not just a single, blah blah blah. I think they've probably been doing it for all of history.
Can you imagine though that you're on a boat for whatever reason, you're filming, you're on a whale watch, and you're like, not only seeing a sperm whale, but there's a bunch of sperm whales
Right.
at the surface.
You're like, oh my god.
You're like, this is once in a lifetime
Yep.
interaction. Then you see orcas cruising up,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and your head would explode.
Absolutely, the way it would unfold,
And then seeing a poop explosion fan.
dude. There was a
That's
hilarious.
exactly what happened too.
Well, there was a hilarious instance in Santa Barbara about 4 or 5 years ago where the Santa Barbara whale watching boat was out and they were looking at a baby gray whale. They're like, oh, cute. And they like brought it right up beside the boat and a pack of orcas came in and it was just a bloodbath. Like
Oh, my
just blood.
God.
I mean, like fully ripped it to shreds. Kids are screaming
Oh, my
and crying. There's a bunch of iPhone videos.
Yeah.
Like there's one guy who's like, he like turns the iPhone and there's all these kids just bursting out in tears because
That's
Wow.
like legitimately PTSD traumatizing.
scarring. Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my
you also have to
God.
wonder if the boat wasn't there.
Would it have happened?
Right.
Right, because the gray whale was kind of like, hi, boat.
Checking it out,
Yeah.
yeah.
And, hey, guys, if you like the show, I got good news for you. You can get a whole lot more.
We do 4 bonus podcasts every month. That's 1 a week. That's 48 a year.
That's right.
Go to wildtimes.club/info. You can subscribe on Patreon.
Yep.
You can subscribe on Spotify. Do it on Spotify if that's where you listen to
Why
your
would you
pod.
do that? What's the benefit?
You could also listen to all of the podcasts ad-free.
Ad free.
Huge.
You know, that's how we got this cool studio. We love you guys.
Thank you.
We love you.
Just do it.
Do it now.
Do it.
Now.
Do it. Please. Go.
Please.
Okay, I think we should play a game.
Sure.
Love
Yeah,
games.
game time.
Operation.
All right,
Do we have a jingle for it?
let's play game. Kyle,
Yes.
9-year-old Kyle.
Hello.
You are the host of this show, and we're gonna play Fact or Fiction.
I
And by
love this
show, I
game.
mean game.
I didn't
Sim-
like that look he gave me when I asked for a jingle.
We don't have one.
We don't have one.
For fact or fiction, we don't. No.
Okay,
All
come
right.
on, fella.
All
Let's
right, here we go. Fact or fiction?
It's a very simple game.
How does it work?
Fact or fiction.
You
I'm
read
going to read you
something.
something. You guys tell me, is that true or not true?
Are you keeping
Okay.
score?
I will keep score.
Thank you.
All right, go
He's
ahead.
being pretty smug. Did you see?
Yeah,
Is
he's-
true or
he's-
not true, Pat?
He's on a high
Okay.
horse.
All
Right?
right.
There you
All right. Fact or fiction? Reptiles can regrow their tails, but they can also regrow their heads
Oh boy.
if they're decapitated.
I'm not sure if they can regrow.
Can you
their
regrow
heads.
a tongue?
I'm going last. We're going Peter
All
Pat.
right, I'll go
Forrest.
first.
Yep.
I'm gonna say that's ridiculous fiction.
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 That is fiction.
Booyah!
Reptiles can regrow tails, but regrowing its head is biologically impossible
Biological.
due to the complexity of internal structures like the brain.
Okay,
Thank
slow
you.
down, take a breath.
You're really
Yeah,
knocking
yeah.
him off of his high horse pretty quick.
I'm
You
sorry,
really
Kyle.
didn't like that look
Kyle
he gave.
I
started-
love Kyle.
Yeah.
I love Kyle more than I like myself.
All right. 1 point each.
All right.
Good job. Good job. All right.
Goody gibbles.
I think he's on drugs.
Alligators are purely carnivorous and never consume plants or fruits in their diet.
Keep going the same way. I'm gonna say that this is. Oh, that was a hippo I saw eating a watermelon. I'm gonna say that this is.
Those are so not close.
This is fact.
I think he's trying to trick us
Mhm.
because, they take big bites of stuff and it says plants. They clearly get plants in their mouth while they're eating other shit. So I'm going to say this is fiction.
Fiction.
It is fiction.
Fact.
They're primarily carnivores, but they do consume some plants, especially when food is
See?
scarce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, nigga, bogon, dog,
They're
dog.
pretty
2-1.
dumpstery, man. Like I've seen gators eating like mangoes and stuff that roll out of trash cans behind like swamp restaurants in
Yeah,
Central
yeah.
Florida. They're pretty dumpstery. Like they'll
Sure.
just kind of eat whatever.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
2 for Forrest and Patrick, 1 for Peter.
F off, Kyle.
All right. Lizards lay eggs with tough armored shells that can withstand being stepped on or even run over by vehicles.
I mean, I've seen this in like movies, but I don't know if it's like it must. I guess it come. Leathery eggs are a real thing. I'm gonna say fact.
Yeah. This is a fact.
Fiction.
This Edwin's answer here is non-conclusive.
What? Edwin, what are you doing?
Well, okay, let me step in here. There is no lizard egg that can withstand being run over by a vehicle.
What's the vehicle?
I guess that's a good point.
Vehicle.
If it's a what are those things like a Hot Wheels? Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fat
That's
tire
what I.
bike.
That's what I thought
Yeah.
he was doing.
Yeah.
But how about so? Can they lay eggs with tough armored shells?
It's
No,
typically
they're
they're
leathery
soft
shells.
shells and vulnerable to predators.
Yeah,
What-
there's
what's
But
Edward's
usually
answer?
hidden.
Is Edwin out of his mind?
How does he not?
What
does
did
know
he
how-
say?
It says lizard eggs are typically soft-shelled and vulnerable to predators. They are usually hidden in underground nests or other protected
So it's fiction.
locations.
It's fiction.
All right, give
Ed,
Forrest the point.
Let's give Edwin a little helping hand here. Edwin, when you write fact or fiction, just answer with fact or fiction.
No, I like the fact. The
No,
stuff
the
it gets
info
after.
is good, but he
The
has to
first
give
word-
needs to be fact or fiction.
Correct.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1 is the score.
Yep.
All right. Yep.
I don't
All
like
right.
it.
Next up, amphibians can survive both underwater and on land indefinitely, transitioning between the two without any need for adaptation.
I mean, this is. I hate Edwin. This is. Yeah. So I mean, of course they can be on land or indefinitely. No, that's impossible. Fiction.
Fact.
Fiction.
It
They
is.
need water.
It is fiction. They
Fuck.
have unique adaptations for both aquatic and terrestrial, but they cannot switch between environments without indefinitely facing challenges and changes in their physiology.
Sure. 4, 2, 2.
Kyle, you sound like the worst high school teacher when you read the facts.
It's like Ben Stein.
He's more enthusiastic than most of my high school teachers.
Yeah, fair enough.
Forest fact.
All right.
4 to 2 to 2.
4 to 2 to 2.
Let's go.
All right. Some lizard species have a third eye that detects change in light and movement.
Fiction.
It's not technically an eye, so fiction.
Yeah, we got to go 3 for fiction.
I'm gonna say fact, isn't he?
It seems fact.
Okay, no point.
It says it's part of the
Curious what he's going to say here.
epithalamus.
Yep.
The eye is located at the top of the
Epithalamus.
head. It's photoreceptive and associated with the pineal gland.
Ooh. Pineal.
Epithalamus and pineal, but yes, otherwise very good.
All right, no points awarded.
And this is Forrest correcting your pronunciation.
That was out of space wild.
Yeah, wild.
All right, next.
All right, the great white shark is the largest shark species in existence.
Oh, God, I mean, this is in existence. I'm gonna say I don't know. I mean, it's the only shark. I'm gonna say
Take a deep breath. Wait, you're getting excited.
I'm gonna say
I want to win the game, but let's talk for a second.
Okay, let's talk.
What do I do every summer?
Shark.
Go down
Shark
where?
Week.
No, that too. But where do I go in the summer?
Baja.
Baja.
Baja. What's like the one thing I always get excited about going down there?
Greenland sharks.
So close.
Some kind of shark. Baja
All
shark.
right, we all know this is too easy. Fiction.
It's got to be fiction. But
Whale
that's what I was
shark.
gonna say.
Just make it. I just wanted you to get there
Yeah,
on
yeah.
your own.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate.
Correct. Yeah, it's the whale shark. That's the big.
You want me to win against Pat, don't you?
I just could feel you getting angsty, and I was like, I know you know the answer, and you're gonna get more upset if you get it wrong again.
Thank you, Kimosabe.
Yeah, that's all.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, sharks have multiple rows of teeth.
Fiction.
Fact.
Fact.
It is fact.
Yes.
Don't
Next.
we have a shark jaws in here somewhere? No, I don't think I brought that down in the end.
No. When threatened, porcupines shoot out their quills.
Fact.
Fiction.
You've seen a lot of those cartoons, right?
Fact. That's right. Fact.
Fiction.
Fact.
Fiction.
Fact. Fact.
It is fiction.
That's fact.
Isn't that annoying?
It is.
Yeah, Kyle
Because-
is annoying.
And that too. But until I was probably 14, I thought they could shoot their quills. And we had porcupines in the yard where I grew up. And I'd run by, there was like a specific granite cave on my property. And I'd run by that cave extra fast because I was like, I don't want him to shoot out of the cave at me.
right.
And it was because every cartoon I'd ever watched, he'd shot his quills. And I didn't know. I was like, of course they could.
I
I've
just
been
watched
waiting-
Sing with my kid last night, and the porcupine at the end when she plays her guitar solo, she shoots her quills all over the audience.
Wow.
Why do they
Yes.
do this? This is just
Sounds-
misinformation.
Sounds
the
very
way-
sexual, by the way.
The way a porcupine gets you, Peter,
Yeah.
is it backs into you and then goes forward, and the quills stick in you,
Ugh.
and then it goes forward.
Remember that one we caught in Vietnam?
Of course.
It was so terrifying.
It was a big porcupine.
Yeah, it was.
What porcupine was that?
I think it's just called Asiatic.
It was huge though. It was the biggest porcupine I've ever
I think
seen.
it's just called Asiatic porcupine. Asiatic brush-tailed porcupine.
I mean, how big would you say that was? Like maybe
Oh, it was big. It was I don't know.
2.5 feet long.
No, it wasn't this guy. It was different. Just type in porcupine Vietnam. Let's see what it was.
Was it? So why was it
Asian
terrifying?
porcupine?
Was it aggressive?
That
Yeah,
guy.
that guy.
Oh my
Second-
goodness.
Yeah, it's
Lion?
big. Go to the one where the guy's holding it, Kyle.
Yeah, that's bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
What
things are
is
giant.
the species? I feel like I should know this, and I don't. What is the actual
Lion?
species?
Vietnam's most
Oh,
dangerous
that's our
animal.
guy. The guy who wanted to come. Oh, it is the brush-tailed. Okay, it was just the bad picture.
The reason it was fired up because it had been trapped in a poacher's trap,
Gotcha.
and so it had been stuck in this trap for some period of time.
Sorry, and to answer your question, why was it terrifying?
Yeah.
Because it was stuck in this trap, and the trap had like a locking spring mechanism. So I had to get my Leatherman out to free it. But its quills were a foot longer than where the trap door was.
Yeah.
So every time I went to try and free it, it was like
Oh God.
trying to shoot its quills into my hand.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, now I can take that special ability off my radar for Battle Royale.
No, they're gnarly.
No shooting.
The other thing in
quills.
cartoons is that they just go like this. They just pick them out.
Yeah. Like they
they're-
just, yeah.
Are they barbed the other way so you can't like pull
They are
them out?
barbed. It's very small. In fact, this is really interesting. We'll dogleg from the game for a second here. Kyle, pull up like a microscope look at a porcupine quill, because when you hold a porcupine quill, you don't think there's any barb to it. Like it feels smooth.
Yeah.
But if you look at like the microscopic structure of one,
Yeah.
see that first picture there?
Yeah, it's like a pine
Oh.
cone.
See that? It's
brutal.
all backwards facing. But you don't. If you hold one, you're like, this is not a barbed item. Like you
Yeah.
can even kind of run your finger over it and you don't feel it.
Yeah.
But it is covered in these micro, like one-way facing
Yeah.
barbs.
When
yeah.
you try and pull it out, it sticks into
oh
the
yeah,
skin there.
It's in there. Yeah.
That's
All right.
bananas.
Let's do one more question. This one's worth 15
15,000.
points.
There we
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
And here we go.
All right, let's find a good one.
Okay, here we go.
All right, all right.
I kind of want to do that moose one because I just want to know the answers.
Okay, a moose's antlers are made up of the fastest growing cells in the animal kingdom.
This is, I mean, I have no idea, so I'm taking a swing in the dark here, but I'm going to say that it's God, it feels like an Edwin makeup.
It's a good one.
I'm gonna say that this is fact. I want to go fact.
I think it's a trick, and I think that it's some hoofed animal that has the fastest growing cells, but I don't think it's a moose. I'm going to say that it's a mule deer or an elk.
That's a very Edwin-y way to do
Yeah,
that.
so I'm going to go fiction.
I'm going to go fact, and here's why. I don't know the answer, but think of the size of a moose's antlers, and they shed them every year.
Every year.
So they've got to grow that quickly and then drop it. So I'm going to go fact, but I don't know the answer.
That's a good one, Edwin.
It
More
is.
like this.
What do we got?
It
Kyle?
is fact.
All right.
Fuck. Well, you still win, but I beat Pat.
That's true.
You get 15
50.
points. Yeah.
But it makes sense. I mean, I didn't know that was the fastest growing cells in the animal kingdom, but look at how much bone and fur and everything that is. They have to grow that every year.
That's
It's crazy,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Imagine if you just grew something that was double, 3 times the size of your head on each side of your head, out of your head every season.
year.
if
Yeah.
I wasn't asexual, I'd love that special ability for one of my body
You
parts.
gotta stop saying that, dude. You can't own up to it. Even if you are asexual, don't own up to it.
I was asexual before it was cool.
Why?
Because I enjoy to use my mental powers for other
Oh my
things.
God. Yeah.
Haven't you ever seen that Seinfeld?
Should we get him some like Tren? Should we get him on some testosterone treatment?
I don't know. Yeah.
My testosterone's through the roof, obviously. Especially this podcast.
He says
You
with
heard
his crossed legs.
Oh, look at Pat.
Yeah,
It's
but
the
you're
only way I
doing it
can
in
sit
such
in
a
this
like.
chair.
My testicles have receded
How do you
far into
sit
my
like
abdomen.
that?
Let's do the thing.
Yeah.
Abdomen. The Thing. Go check out. Oh my God, we do so many extra podcasts a month. It's so much fun. We chit chat. We talk about our lives. We
You can
talk
see
about-
what Kyle looks like.
You can
there.
see what Kyle
Yep.
looks like. We talk about animal stuff, of course. Uncensored bonus podcast. Go check it out. wildtimes.club/info. We got the 24/7 live stream running. Go check that out. Everything, all the links you need is at wildtimes.club/info. Love you guys. Yeah, that was perfect timing.
Yeah, it is time.
Cheers.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to leave you hanging. There's the opener.
That tire.
Let's go time.
My beer's done.